Listen, I know I always do this where I say, this is probably my last video on SharkHunter, and then it isn't, but I pinky promise I'll make this quick. I need to explain just a few of the infinite reasons why SharkHunter's new little, project is a bad idea in every way, shape, and form. I don't even know how to properly start this. I guess I'll just read out the first post.
I'm announcing the creation of a project called the Moral Rehabilitation Program. This program is dedicated to helping those who are struggling with harmful behaviors, sin, or addiction. I believe that everyone, even people who have hurt others, deserves a chance to better themselves as human beings. If you or someone you know is struggling, then send them this form.
This idea is kind of cute until you actually start thinking about it. There's a reason why 6th graders aren't doctors. Mainly that they're 6th graders! They are not emotionally mature enough or knowledgeable enough on this stuff to be able to counsel drug-addicted children.
I summarized my issues against this shitty excuse of a program in the following post. Trying to parade as being qualified for this kind of help is incredibly dishonest, and this dumbass should be ashamed of himself. And from his next post, it becomes abundantly clear that I was completely right about him being a dumbass because, wow, let's just go through this point by point.
Let me go address a couple of things about the Moral Rehabilitation Program. Since I got blasted on MGS.com post, and her army of pro-shippers and lol icon supporters came flooding in my comment section.
How do you know all the people criticizing you are pro-shippers or lolicon supporters? And furthermore, why does that actually matter in this discussion? Oh wait, it doesn't, because it's poisoning the well, it's an ad hominem, it's deflection, it doesn't actually fucking mean anything.
It is not meant to replace any sort of therapy. Its main goal is to provide practical, noticeable advice.
So you admit you're giving unlicensed mental health advice. And don't even get me started with these word salad qualifiers. Practical. Yeah, no shit it should be practical. Practical means likely to succeed. Most mental health professionals do give advice that is meant to be practical. Because why would they give the advice in the first place if it didn't actually fucking do anything? And noticeable. Noticeable by who? You? Because you seem to have a habit of noticing things that aren't fucking there. Remember when you tried to armchair diagnose me with NPD because I got a math problem wrong? I didn't.
But taking a step back, we see that this is obviously really sad. The constant need to always feel right often stems from narcissistic personality traits, which can be influenced by a range of factors. Fear of vulnerability also plays a role. Accepting that one is wrong requires humility and openness, which can make some individuals feel exposed or weak. And we can see this throughout every single point she makes. She never concedes anything. She doesn't want to.
Or when you accused me of having a soda addiction based on a singular fucking image.
Let me go bring up the screenshots of your soda addiction.
And if you meant this advice is noticeable to the patient, that doesn't actually make any fucking sense either. If they've already noticed something, why the hell would they need someone else to tell it to them? Especially someone who, again, isn't a licensed professional. I also just want to point out this. You can use flowery language all you fucking want. You can dance around the topic all you fucking want. But your program is literally named the Moral Rehabilitation Program. You can't run a rehab program without a medical professional's input, dipshit. Now, I don't know the exact legality of what SharkHunter is doing, and I'm not gonna pretend like I do, because unlike SharkHunter, I don't try to impersonate professionals, but I feel like this is bound to become a legal issue at some point, right? Maybe not right now, but I don't know. It feels like to me like this is the kind of thing that you could get sued for if you end up treating the wrong person. I don't know. That's just what I think, as a non-legal professional.
Objective facts.
Oh, you mean like the objective facts they teach you in medical school, which you've never fucking attended because you're 15? Saying that you're telling people facts doesn't actually mean anything because so do therapists. So do psychiatrists. They tell you things that are true based on scientific mental health research. No fucking duh, do you think they just make shit up off the top of their head like you do?
To people who are either openly delusional.
Oh, you mean like people who believe they're mature enough to give mental health advice to strangers but not mature enough to be criticized by an 18-year-old? Yeah, don't think I forgot about the Schrodinger's maturity shit with Handman.
Addicted to material that is considered to be harmful. Or is believing in incredibly harmful ideologies that is detrimental to someone's mental health.
Again, you are not qualified to give those kinds of people advice.
For example, here is a tool to help you out with your addiction, or here is objective facts about your addiction ideology, what it can lead to, why it is harmful, etc.
You mean like what therapists do? You do know there's a reason why therapists and psychiatrists need to go to school for this shit, right? No? Well, let me tell you, people's mental health is incredibly sensitive. Say the wrong thing to the wrong person on the wrong day, and it could make them blow their fucking brains out. That's why therapists are trained specifically for interacting with mentally ill people, because that's kind of their job. At this point, I'd rather have fucking EXE as my therapist than your dumbass. I might leave the room with a missing spleen, but at least he's of legal age.
Also, it is not just me, there will be many people helping out with it too, being adults.
And that's assuming anyone over the age of 18 is gonna volunteer for your dangerous excuse of a mental health program in the first place, which they aren't. And if they do, I think they need to get some therapy of their own. Because if you genuinely think that at 18 or older that it's okay for you to not only give unlicensed therapy to people, but also encourage a 15-year-old to give unlicensed therapy to people, you are fucking insane. You're the one who needs therapy. Licensed therapy. And you wanna know what makes me especially pissed off about this whole thing? His claim of being able to help addicts. Why? Because he does not know what addicts are like. I can fucking guarantee it. And no, I'm not talking about people who are addicted to porn or fucking Coca-Cola. I mean real addicts. And that's not to say people who are actually genuinely addicted to pornography or caffeine aren't real addicts. I'm just saying that I'm not talking about people who are addicted to things that, at the end of the day, are relatively minor and much more easily treatable. How about I give you guys a little anecdote? A story from my life, if you will. My mother was a hardcore heroin addict. I say was, not because she ever recovered, but because she, kicked the bucket. On top of that, my mother had diabetes and multiple sclerosis, and medical issues like that don't mix well with these kinds of addictions. Nothing does, because guess what, SharkHunter? Addiction is serious. It's not something a 15-year-old can help. If that was the case, my mother would have been long clean by the time she died, considering the fact that she not only had kids that wanted to see her clean, but adults, including her parents, who would have done anything to get her off drugs. Oh, but maybe if she had gone to Dr. SharkHunter, she would have turned into a respectable woman of God. That's not how fucking addicts function, you fucking idiot. A 15-year-old telling someone to not use heroin isn't going to actually make them stop, you fucking idiot. And to be clear, I'm not trying to go on some trauma-dumping tangent. I'm saying this because your claim of being able to rehabilitate addicts is a slap in the face to anyone who's actually had the unpleasant experience of knowing a hardcore addict. The fact that you think a 15-year-old, let alone a 15-year-old stranger, will have any effect on the status of someone's hardcore addiction is both laughably stupid and genuinely disrespectful. I know I'm being incredibly harsh in this video again, maybe coming off as trauma dumpy, but I can't find it in me to care. If he wants to play therapist, he can learn a little from someone who actually knows what real addicts are like, not someone who drinks soda every other day or someone who draws porn. And despite me being inherently more qualified than SharkHunter, considering not only do I have actual experience with addicts, but I'm also a legal adult, I do not believe that I would be able to in any way give any kind of help to addicts on their addiction. That's just not something I'm able to do as someone who is not licensed in mental health or addiction. So the fact that SharkHunter at the grand old age of 15 thinks that he can give people mental health advice is fucking insane. And I just want to make it incredibly clear that I don't believe a word SharkHunter says that his little program isn't meant to be a replacement for therapy, since literally everything he's saying his program is supposed to do is literally the same shit therapy does. Sure, you aren't trying to diagnose people with mental disorders, except when you are, but that doesn't mean that you aren't trying to play therapy. Stop dancing around this shit. You are trying to provide free, unlicensed therapy. If this isn't therapy, then what the fuck is it? Trying to become besties with mentally ill people? It's therapy, you dumb fuck! What's that? His rehab program is actually just glorified conversion therapy? Wow, I never could have fucking guessed. I'll put some actual mental health lines in the description that aren't ran by 15-year-olds without medical licenses, which Dr. SharkHunter hasn't bothered to do because he cares less about helping people's mental health and more about praying the gay away. Have a nice day, read Souls Meant to Burn, and goodbye.